said it right then, huh?
Yes, you're one of the few people that do.
Well, I'm not good at names at all.
You don't get the principles like that.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And there is copies of my testimony and a related newspaper article going around the room. For the record, I am Representative Rick Watrous of Merrimack, District 16, Concord. House Bill 1550 was inspired by an incident that happened in Concord last year, where a man got arrested for recording a city officer while the officer was engaged in his official duties. That citizen, Joe Hamill, had been denied a taxi cab license. So he went and met with the city official that had denied him that license to discuss the matter. While he was there, he recorded his exchange with the official. He was later surprised, very surprised, when several officers came to his apartment early one morning with an arrest warrant, ordered him out of the apartment, and took possession of his tablet computer. Of course, that computer also contained a good deal of Mr. Hamill's personal information. That recording of a city officer led to Hamill's arrest and being charged with a felony for wiretap. If convicted, he could have gone to prison for several years. Fortunately, a city prosecutor later dropped the charges when they became aware of case law. Despite what the Concord police and the judge that issued the warrant believed, there is case law that permits citizens to record public officials doing public business in a public place. In the case Glick versus Cunniff, and I gave one copy to the clerk, it's 24 pages long, so I didn't print out the whole thing for everyone. But it's a very interesting case. In 2011, the United States Court of Appeals for the First District ruled that a private citizen has the right to record video and audio of public officials in a public place, and that the arrest for a citizen for wiretapping violation in this regard violated the citizen's First and Fourth Amendment rights. This ruling led to the city of Boston, which is where the Glick incident occurred, paying Mr. Glick $170,000 for damages and legal fees. So what I'm trying to do here is to amend the New Hampshire law so that it complies with this federal court ruling. I don't want another citizen wrongly arrested for exercising their First Amendment rights. I don't want police or judges to be confused about what the law is. House Bill 1550 should help clear up existing confusion. It's modeled on HB1550 from a previous term. That bill passed the House and the Senate, only to die during the committee of conference phase. So, why is this important? A growing number of citizens are carrying digital recording devices, and they're using that. If anybody has a cell phone, you can use that as a recorder. So these cases are going to be coming up more and more. And I believe that it's important that New Hampshire law be made clear and understandable in this regard. So I thank the committee for your attention, and I'll try to answer any questions you might have.
Representative Valencourt.
Thank you. My first question, and I think you somewhat addressed this, but I was wondering if this law was necessary. Is it not possible that we can already do this? But I think you told me that while it may be already legal to do this, there seems to be some confusion, and this is simply an attempt to clarify that it is legal. Is that correct?
Correct. As this case happened the Glick case happened in 2011, and Mr. Hamill was arrested by the Capital City Police 2 years later, and a judge had issued a search warrant for the computer. So clearly, the message hasn't gotten down to the police and some judges.
And so this House Bill 145, when was that? Was that last?
That, as I understand it, was introduced in 2011, it was retained into 2012, and both the House and Senate passed their own versions of it.
And this is?
This is based on the Senate version of the bill.
Thank you.
Representative Tasker.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Would you believe that we had leadership's attorney in here earlier, and he took a look at this bill at my request, and he stated this bill changes nothing that's not already decided in the Supreme Court decision. So he thinks this would only codify current law according to the Supreme Court decision.
I would believe that, and I also believe it's important to codify current law so mistakes aren't made and people don't waste time and money prosecuting this type of incident.
Now, let me ask you first, because
Yes.
I'm a co-sponsor on this bill, so I've kind of forgotten committee rules. If you allow me to question the voting testimony. What's our-
According to our rules, we're not supposed to. I believe that people that sponsor a bill sponsor it for a reason and should be allowed to ask questions. But until we get that clarified from the clarification from the speaker or somebody to say it's all right.
I certainly defer to the decision of the chair on that, whatever our custom is. I don't-
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
The rep could also get up and speak. He has an issue.
Right.
So you could just speak on the bill and say
It's-
things.
I have never seen the rule in writing, but I was told when I first came on this committee by Representative Wells that we knew about that.
That's fine.
Any other questions for the gentleman? Seeing none, I thank you very much. I'll ask Attorney